Welcome to another Telltale Books video. I'm Greg, and in this video I'm going to continue my Francis Stevens series with number 9 from my bibliography of Francis Stevens, The Heads of Cerberus. We are Telltale Books, bringing you the best in literature, literary topics, and graphic design and bookmaking.
If you want to support us, you can find us on Etsy and Pango, where you can find gently used, rare, and even top quality used books.
And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and maybe even that bell to be notified when new videos go live.
Thanks for joining us.
The Heads of Cerberus, and I had to look that pronunciation up online. What I'm following, and I don't know that I'm pronouncing the Greek correctly, but from what I'm seeing online, it's pronounced something like Cerberus. So The Heads of Cerberus by Francis Stevens. This is a novel. It was serialized in, I believe, 4 parts in the Thrill Book magazine from August 15th to October 15th, 1919, and was published under her real name of Gertrude Bennett rather than her pseudonym of Francis Stevens, though today it's always published under her Francis Stevens pseudonym, because that's how she's best known. And for those of you that want to quicken out, this is a dark fantasy, kind of science fiction, kind of occultish, involving ideas of time travel and alternate worlds, alternate side universes, and a trip to Philadelphia 200 years in the future, 2118. Remember, this was published in 1919, so it was being written in 1918. And the majority of the story takes place in this futuristic Philadelphia with this very regimented society. It's a very strange society. Kind of, well, it's authoritarian, but it's like nobody is really benefiting from it. Everybody is, even the people in charge are kind of trapped by the system. And they're all slaves to this system. Anyway, this was supposed to be a quick synopsis. I'll get more into the synopsis in a minute. Gotta tell you, Francis Stevens has been consistently right up there on the edge of being top tail material. Everything I've read so far, the past 8 works of hers that I've read, have been really good. And there was just something about them that held them back from me considering them to be top tales. This one finally steps over that. This one, I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's wild, it's crazy, it's surreal, it's science fictional, it's fantasy, it's occult, it's all this stuff thrown in. It's really strange, really unlike anything else I've ever read. It left me at the end absolutely loving it, thinking this is a really cool story. And no, this isn't a forgotten classic, because it was printed just this year by MIT Press. This is part of their Radium Age, I believe they call it. They have a name for the whole series of books they're doing. Radium Age series. It's a whole series of books where they're reprinting science fiction from the period of like 1900 to 1930. Kind of in between years where you never hear much about science fiction during those years. And a lot of the science fiction doesn't get reprinted much, but there really is a lot of just incredible gems that were published during that period. And I've been exploring it a lot with Homer on Flint and Austin Hall and Francis Stevens and Abraham Merritt. And I'm absolutely loving the stuff that I'm coming across. It's blowing my mind. I'm hitting top tale after top tale lately of works from that time period, and MIT Press already knows. Their editors are already, they've got this whole lineup of these books that are brand new books. Unfortunately, they're not publishing hardcovers, just trade paperbacks, but they're very nicely done. Brand new books. You go to their website, buy this. I think they might be on Amazon also, but buy these books and you get these just awesome stories from 100 years ago. And these stories are proving to be very fresh, very original, very different, more surreal. You know, science fiction became very sober under John Campbell, to where it was just like a bunch of normal engineers sitting around a table solving problems every story. At this point, there's still a lot of Alice in Wonderland to what's going on in science fiction and fantasy. And most of the work published at this time was published in the Frank A. Munsey magazines, Argosy and All Story Weekly. Heads of Cerberus was a thrill book. I don't know who owned that one, but you know, there were a number of magazines that published all the different genres. They published westerns, they published romance stories, they published Christmas stories, they published all kinds of stories. But they also published fantasy, horror, science fiction, and they published the Heads of Cerberus. So this currently in print in a wonderful book, kind of cool illustration. It's the Heads of Cerberus and some of the other stories that I've already covered from my other Francis Stevens book. The other stories in here are her first story, The Curious Experience of Thomas Dunbar, Friend Island, we've reviewed that already. Behind the Curtain, we reviewed that. Unseen, Unfeared, which was very Lovecraftian, and The Elf Trap. Those are all in here along with the novel, The Heads of Cerberus. Cerberus. It's hard to get myself used to that because in my whole life I've just pronounced it like it looks. So I'll get there. Anyway, little deep, so highly recommended. Pick this book up. It's really good. Brand new book. Brand spanking new. Fresh in your library. And not super expensive either. What is this retailing at? $19.95 US. Reasonable. Totally reasonable. And you get amazing fiction. So the Heads of Cerberus, what you have is you start out with these two friends. They meet up through some very strange circumstances, but they've been good friends for a long time. They respect one another. The one friend is very rich. He is Trenmore. And the other guy, well, he's a lawyer, but he ran into some very shady politics where he lost his practice, and so now he's kind of down and out. His name is Drayton. He's constantly got people pursuing him, trying to attack him, coming from these people that he made enemies of. So he happens upon Trenmore's place, and he's in Trenmore's place, and Trenmore has had somebody constantly after him, because Trenmore bought this little bottle that has the heads of Cerberus. Okay, the bottle is shaped like the three heads of Cerberus, and he thinks it was made by Benvenuto Cellini. and it has this gray powder inside. He knows nothing about the powder. He doesn't care about that. He's after this glass antique. But somebody keeps pursuing him, wants to give him just ridiculous amounts of money for it. Well, Trenmore already has ridiculous amounts of money. He doesn't care. He loves that little glass thing, and he wants to keep it. But this guy then sends people into his place to try to steal it from him. Well, so then Trenmore and Drayton are together, and Trenmore opens it up, spills out the powder, breathes some of it in, and disappears. And Drayton's like, what the heck? And he doesn't know what happened. And then he accidentally breathes it in and disappears himself, waking up in this strange land. And then he sees Trenmore, and he sees Trenmore's sister. She, followed Drayton and sniffed some of this powder and accidentally and ended up here too. So the three of them are in this strange place. And they go walking, trying to figure out where the heck they are. And they come across this woman who is weaving a web, the web of time. And she tells the three of them which direction they should go. And so they go through this arch, and then all of a sudden they find themselves on the streets of Philadelphia. But something's wrong. Everybody's wearing this yellow tag that has a number on it. But of course, they don't have this, so somebody quickly finds out, hey, these people, it's against the law not to have a number. And so they end up in complete trouble. Now you got a situation where they're up against the authorities. It's almost like Franz Kafka. And they get caught up in some political intrigues, which end up with them having to go through this contest, which if they win, they will hold high political office. But it kind of goes south, and they bring the society down, because this is a totalitarian society. The people, the numbers, as they're called, all the people that have numbers, the higher ups, they don't have numbers. They actually have names like Clever or Quickest, or names like that have to do with what they do for the government. And the rest of the people just have numbers, and the Supreme Justice has no qualms about opening up on them with machine guns and mowing them down if they start getting angry. So it's a totalitarian society that's killing its own people, but the people in charge all the way up to the Supreme Justice, they're just as much trapped and victimized by this whole system as the workers are. They're just not getting shot at. But if they mess up, they get thrown into this pit. Okay, so our heroes, they tear down the society and they find a way back, get back to their own Philadelphia, their own time, not 2118 anymore. And then they start to learn how this all came about, what this powder is, where it came about, because they meet up with this guy that's looking for the powder. I'm not doing it justice at all. It is a remarkable novel. So far, this is Francis Stevens' best. Lots of imagination, excellent characterization here, excellent writing, excellent story. It moves along really well. I found myself not being able to put it down, literally. I just kept going and kept going and kept going. I finished it faster than I could believe. Excellent, excellent book. Highly recommended. This one is a top tale. So, have you ever read The Heads of Cerberus? If not, buy the book, read it. It's really good. If you have, or if you go out and come back after you have, leave your comments in the comment section of the video. I really do want to hear those things. I don't want this to be just me sitting here talking at my iPad. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear your thoughts on these stories, and I do want to connect up with people out there. I know you're out there. I know other people are reading all this stuff. And I want to connect up with you and open up these dialogues for these stories, because I don't know everything. You don't know everything. Together we'll know a whole lot more, and enrich each other's experience of all this literature. So definitely leave your comments. Definitely come back. The next Francis Stevens, I believe, is another novel called Avalon, which I have here in this, again, brand new book. In print. You can buy this at Black Dog Books. I think they're revising their website, and they got a notice on it that they're not ready to take orders yet, but they'll get it straightened out. And they've got a lot of great books from this period of time that I'm dealing with, and I'm really interested in this publisher, because they have a lot of other novels by other authors from that World War I time period, where I've been really focusing my attention lately. So I'm going to be reading Avalon next. I hope you'll come back and join me for that and all the other videos that I do here on Telltale Books.